I was going to start this video with a really cool sort of like montage of like me making a coffee with a coffee maker there, but my parents are on the way, so no time to do that. I'm going to take my mum out for a surprise, which she's absolutely going to love. Then I'm going to come back, then I'm going to get through this video, which I think is a really, really important subject, something I've always put off talking about because I think it's going to offend a few people and it's going to put a few people off, but it's something that I've really got to get off my chest. So I'm going to go out, take my mum out to see some donkeys, and I'm going to come back and have a chat.
Home to the mountain. Home to the mountain.
Right, so that's our Sunday morning. Probably doesn't seem a lot to so many people, but my mum absolutely loves donkeys. She really does. Probably might explain where my ears have come from. But that's a great start to a Sunday morning, doing something for somebody else without any thought of reward. Hello, baby. Hello. I'm going to lay down. But being with my parents this morning it's reminded me of what I wanted to talk about, and that is that my mum and dad have been smokers all their life up until about 4 years ago when my dad had his back-to-back heart attacks. That stopped them dead, if you like. Probably a bad choice of words, but it did. It stopped them in the tracks. They stopped smoking there and then, and they've never done it since. But it's something that ever since I was a little kid I've been brought up with. You know, the rooms would smell, the ceilings would be like this horrible yellow colour after a few weeks. You know, they get painted a lot. They get painted bright white, and before you know it, they've got a crusty yellow colour again. You come down for school or for playtime at weekends when you're a kid, and there's ashtrays in the living room and it smells. And I get that a lot of people smoke whose parents smoke because they're around that sort of that atmosphere and they're around the smoke and everything else. For me, it went totally the other way. I was just reminded like every day how disgusting it was, like seeing full ashtrays, like smelling it on my mum and dad's clothes. When we used to go out for meals and stuff, you know, in the days before you used to have to go out to smoke outside, it would be people smoking at tables. You always have to pick restaurants where you could smoke at certain parts of the restaurant, and I never kind of understood that either. You could have a table there, which is a smoking table, and a table there, which is a non-smoking table. Apparently the smoke can't go past this line, you know, the smoke knows which end to go, and it's disgusting. And when you used to smoke in restaurants and pubs and you used to come home and your clothes, you'd have to come home and on a Saturday night from a pub, you'd have to throw your clothes in the wash, and it's just disgusting. And I hate it so much that I can't even talk about it. It's the first time I've ever talked about it on social media. It disgusts me. The words, the images, everything. I don't understand why people smoke. I don't understand the benefits of it. I don't understand why you'd ever want to fill your lungs with that shit. Especially nowadays, I see young girls starting to smoke and a lot, and I understand people like my parents' age. You know, they've grown up smoking since the 40s or the 50s, and it's a hard thing to break, I'm told, and I imagine it really, really is. All habits are really hard to break. What I really struggle to understand is young people starting to smoke now. When there's pictures on the boxes and the packets of lung disease, of people having heart attacks, it actually says smoking can kill, or smoking will kill you, and still people start. And you see 16, 17-year-old girls smoking, and what the fuck are you doing? I don't get it. You're going to have that for the rest of your life. Not only are your clothes going to smell, not only are you going to be sort of targeted where you have to go out for a drink in the evening with your friends, you've got to go outside to smoke, and you've got all these sort of social implications. But above all of that, it's killing you, and I don't get it. You know, it's restricting your life. It's your skin's losing its elasticity. You know, your lungs are dying day by day. Each time you smoke, your lungs are dying a little bit. You're shortening your life, and you're shortening the quality of your life. And then you see illnesses like my parents, like COPD, come into play. You've got the asthma that's coming in. You know, you've got my dad's heart attacks. You've got all the build up in your lungs and in your arteries and in your veins and everything. Your body isn't designed to deal with this shit. Your body and your lungs particularly want to breathe in the cleanest possible air going, not the crap that you're breathing in through smoking. We already have an incredibly toxic environment in this day and age. Environmental toxins such as pollution, UV rays, blue lights coming at us all the time, the concrete we stand on, everything we see in our modern world is a toxin to our body nowadays. And we fight so hard to get out in the fresh air and get clean water, clean fresh air, clean living environments, because pollution is all around us. So why the fuck do we then want to fight all that pollution, but then inhale pollution directly into our body? I never ever understand it. And I know there'll be smokers watching this, and I know you'll be offended, and I'm sorry about that. And I know I'll probably lose some followers with this, and it'll get some negative reviews, negative comments. I really don't care. This is something that has bugged me for as long as I can live. And then in the modern world now, fighting COVID, fighting coronavirus, we've got to wear face masks everywhere we go. We've got to look like Bane in every shop and everything. But people come out of shops now, or they wait to go in, and they're pulling their masks down to smoke. Yet you're having the masks up to stop things coming in that shouldn't be coming in. And when we're fighting a respiratory illness, a respiratory disease, we're taking our masks down, which are there to hopefully save our lives, to smoke or to vape. And I just don't get that. And don't even get me started on the whole vaping thing where people say, oh, I'm not smoking, I'm just vaping. That's healthier. That's not damaging to your lungs. Absolute bullshit. That is one of the worst things you can do. And it took people many, many years to understand what damage smoking was doing. In the 40s or 50s, it was seen dangerous to have sex when you're pregnant, but smoking was okay. And then years later they realised the damage that smoking does to unborn babies. They're realising the damage that smoking does to your health. And it's only fairly recently, in the grand scheme of things, that we're getting the notifications on the packets saying that this is killing you and it's responsible for heart disease, lung disease and cancer and everything else. And vaping at the minute is, by a lot of people, seen as like a healthy alternative. We're not smoking, we're vaping, that's fine. It's bollocks. In years to come, there'll be scientists proving that vaping is responsible for so many horrible illnesses in our body. It's such a young thing, vaping, that the illnesses haven't come out in people yet. But give it 10, 15, 20, 30 years, people will start developing all kinds of horrible diseases and illnesses and dying younger because of vaping. And it hasn't just come out in the media yet, and it hasn't been notified yet. But believe me, it's killing you. And it is no better than smoking. If anything, I would think it's probably a little bit worse than smoking. Not to mention when I'm walking to the shops and I have to walk behind big plumes of strawberry scented smoke because some knobhead in front of me is vaping and just billowing out plumes of smoke out their car window. It's like cars are on fire. I mean, come on. Just step outside your body, look at yourself from a third person point of view, and look at what fucking stupid things you are doing to your lungs and to your body and your health at the minute. And no, it may be easy for me to say, and you'll sit there and go, oh, well, you don't smoke, it's all right for you to preach and stuff. I don't smoke, you're right, and I don't smoke for a good fucking reason, because I've seen the damage that it does to people firsthand. I've had to sit and watch the results of my dad smoking for 50, 60 years. I've seen the damage that does, and I've seen him have 2 heart attacks back to back as a direct result of this. I've seen him struggle with asthma attacks, with COPD, because of this reason. I've seen my mum not be able to walk from the car to my dad's hospital bed in one go, which was, a quarter of a mile at best. And she couldn't do that in one go. We had to stop 3 or 4 times because she couldn't breathe. At the time, she was still smoking, and I never got my head around, I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to have a smoke, and then I'm going to get my breath back, and then I'm going to go again. I just don't get what goes on in people's heads when they're smoking or when they're vaping. Please, if you want to share this to other people, get it out there, get people watching this video and trying to get people to understand what they're actually doing. Particularly young people nowadays, don't start smoking, don't switch from smoking to vaping, don't start vaping. It's all killing you. You just don't realise how much at the minute. And particularly when you're young, you think, oh, that's all right, I've got millions of years to go yet before it's going to affect me. It's not. It's affecting you right now. Every breath you take is affecting you. Every breath you take polluting your lungs is affecting you. So please don't start. Please stop as soon as you can. And like I said, I've seen it firsthand. So please stop doing it. It is killing you, even if you don't realise it.